Welcome to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour.
The following program is made possible in part by Marshall County Tourism. Marshall County, we welcome you with a smile. And Marshall County Community Foundation, helping great ideas take flight. And the city of Plymouth, Indiana. With special thanks to the Culver, Indiana Economic Development Foundation for sponsoring this performance.
In every life, some rain must fall, and you'll get wet as your sorrow calls. Oh, the sun will rise on a brand new morn. You'll be warm and dry and freshly born.
From historic downtown Plymouth, Indiana, where the beautiful Reese Theater has been restored to its Art Deco prime, Heartland Arts Center is breathing new life into the historic Montgomery Ward building, and where the Lincoln Highway and the Michigan Road cross the banks of the beautiful Yellow River. It's the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour! I'm your announcer, Derek Jensen. Tonight's show features a singer, songwriter, theatrical composer, and storyteller with 22 sonorous albums and one enormous heart. Her work explores the joys and hardships of living and more directly communicates an intractable will for living as openly and honestly as possible, and courageous and loving harbinger of a creative spirit that burns brightly inside her. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Claudia Schmidt. Also with us tonight, another beacon of light in our community, a person who also at home with jazz, folk, blues, and musical theater. She performs solo and with a popular folk trio, the Song Sisters. Please welcome our dear friend, Patti Shaffner. And now, recorded live from Wild Rose Moon Performing Arts Center, here is the radical rascal of all things lunar, or lunatic, your radio hour host, George Schricker!
The river goes round, around the bend. The river goes round, round, round to the very end. And when it stops, it starts again. It won't be long till the river goes round. It won't be long till the river goes round and round and round, my friends.
Rosie is sitting next to me with her Rastafarian dreadlocks, myrtle green leathern-leafed hands, gypsy dress, and her pithy disposition. Always eager to share her thoughts with us, she comes complete with notes of wisdom distilled from a world of scintillating sources. Take it away, John.
We have a note from Rosie. This note was wrote by Rosie. It's a wonder of a note, fresh off a ferry boat. If we voted on a quote, this note we'd vote the goat. We have a note from Rosie.
This is a quote from John Dewey, an American philosopher, prominent American scholar in the first half of the 20th century. This quotation helps to communicate the role of the audience as an active participant in the creative process of making art. And he said, "Art is not the possession of the few recognized writers, painters, and musicians. It is the authentic expression of all and all individuality. Those who have the gift of creative expression in considerable measure disclose the meaning of the individuality of others to those others. An audience member participating in the work of art becomes an artist through the active listening process. They learn to know and honor individuality in whatever form it appears. Thus, the fountains of creative activity are discovered and continually released." John Dewey.
Very nice. A great quote from the University of Chicago notable John Dewey.
And speaking of individuals and individualistic sorts of activities, something that our guest Claudia Schmidt, let's give Claudia a nice hand for coming out to Indiana. And I was going to ask you, I think, the wonderful thing, we'll talk a little bit later about Amazing Grace Coffee House, but the wonderful thing for me about that experience was what a great listening room it was.
Yes.
When people listen to each other, something happens, and it's something between the presenter and the audience, and it's magical, and I just wonder how you experience it. You've had almost 5 decades, right?
Over 52 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, I remember seeing you bound on stage with endless energy when you were 19 and I was 20. And I'd sit on the floor and watch you perform. And I was thinking, boy, you carried that energy right up onto stage from the very beginning with you, that kind of drive and muscle and courage. And where does that come from?
I think I must have been born with it because I did a gig, several years ago, and my elementary school music teacher, who I had not seen in years, came to the gig, and she had no idea what I was doing now as a grown-up, and it was so funny because at the end of the night, people are clapping, and she was so proud and so beside herself. She stood up and she was yelling over the applause, "Claudia used to run to the front of the class on singing day," and people are laughing and clapping, and I finally just say, "Okay, Patty, okay, it's all right." Yeah, so it's kind of always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been a place I'm excited to get to.
Now, explain to me a little bit about what happened. I mean, you were young. At least in your bio, it talks about you kind of running away from home. I'm not sure if that's sort of an
well, after high school.
Yeah, after high school, right. But go and then getting into the Chicago music scene at a very exciting time because John Prine's career was being born at that time, and Steve Goodman and a lot of exciting folk performers were there, and you were part of that scene. And
I moved there with a secretary job to Chicago.
Really?
That was what a friend of mine said. I think he was hoping I would go into music. I didn't know anything about it. I was kind of at loose ends. And so I was, for a time, I was secretary and the office manager for Tempo 21 Lawn Fertilization and Weed Control Company. And the writing was on the wall. And within a year, there were so many clubs, like you say. It was like the pinnacle of the singer-songwriter era. And I just started going and finally couldn't get to my day job anymore because I ran into the back end of a car driving home from work because I fell asleep. So I like to say I got into music by accident.
Well, on that accidental note, can you go ahead and give us a song?
Yeah. I'm actually going to do a really new song, and it's got a kind of collective nature to it because death touches us all, and because yesterday and today are Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead in Mexico, This tune was written last year, kind of bookended. I was bookended between having talked to a friend who had lost her brother recently and a friend who had lost his husband of 50 years. And I was in the middle of that, and I had lost my father not too long before that. I mean, it's something we all share, and it was one of the hard things of during the lockdown was not being able to get together, not to be able to grieve together. And so this song came to me almost like a sort of healing thing. It was almost like I saw in the distance sort of people gathered around the grave, and then this sort of song came out, and it's got a kind of call and response. It felt very old to me when it came in. It felt like I was picking up some old energy. It's called Trail of Sorrow. She found herself on sorrow's trail. No, there's no turning back. Nothing left but to weep and wail. You sing, no, there's no turning back. Trail of sorrow, trail of sorrow, trail where light seems so far away. Hearts are tender, so near the veil. No, there's no turning back again. No, there's no turning back. Those who were and are no more. No, there's no turning back. Have left us seeds to plant and to store. No, there's no turning back. Trail of sorrow, trail of sorrow, trail where light seems so far away. They leave us stronger than before. No, there's no turning back. No, there's no turning back. Where sorrow's trail seems to have no end. No, there's no turning back. But it's there you'll meet your truest friends. No, there's no turning back. Trail of sorrow, trail of sorrow, trail where light seems so far away. Love and laughter make sorrow bend. No, there's no turning back. No, there's no turning back. So walk that trail as tears do fall. No, there's no turning back. Saying goodbye is the work of us all. No, there's no turning back. Trail of sorrow, trail of sorrow, trail where light seems so far away. We'll take comfort in love's recall. No, there's no turning back. No, there's no turning back. No, there's no turning back. Ooh. Thank you. Thanks.
That was just great. You did that, if I got my notes correct, you did that out on Beaver Island not too long ago, maybe last year?
Yes, because it was Frank Galati was Peter's
his
husband.
funeral.
It was, well, no, I just did it. I sang the song to him because but he was part of why this song got written.
Right, and we'll talk a little bit about Frank later. But I also want to talk about somebody else, and that's Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
And you credit him with some mentoring, and I just wonder how that evolved.
Well, I moved to Chicago, like I say, with this stupid day job, and I started showing up at clubs, and this man was really friendly and really supportive. He was obviously well established. I didn't know anything about the folk music scene. I was a complete I knew nothing about any of it. And so Bob started really encouraging me and having me open for him. And he knew I loved to harmonize, so pretty soon I was up on stage harmonizing with him. And we were these friends, and I had no idea about his past as a famous folk singer one night. And one night at the Earl at the Earl of Old Town at like 3 a.m, I was sitting at the bar with somebody who was a fan, and I somehow professed my ignorance. And my friend Peter said, "You don't know about Bob Gibson?" And then I suddenly had this epiphany. I'd gotten somewhere close to the end of high school, I'd gotten the Judy Collins songbook. And, a lot of it is her autobiography stuff of her moving along. And right then, when Peter said that to me, this whole little snippet came into my head of when Judy had gone to Chicago and was hanging out, and this phrase, this sentence, and there was Bob Gibson living his vague, disconnected life of love and music. That whole line came back to me at 3 a.m. at the Earl of Old Town, and I went, "That's Bob Gibson!" I'm glad I didn't. I thought he was just my chubby little friend, I would have been terrified if I'd known it was Bob Gibson, it was that kind of thing. I would have been starstruck.
Yeah, I remember the song by Gibson and Camp, "Skillet Good and Greasy."
Oh, yeah. And then Bob and I co-wrote the song Quetico.
Wow.
Yeah, because we'd both gone up to Quetico canoeing through the same outfit, and so we collaborated on that.
Well, I just could do this all night long, but I think you need to play another song if you could.
Sure, I will. So I read a lot, and people give me books. And this book that inspired this song was a book called "Flow Down Like Silver," which was a historical novel about a woman named Hypatia of Alexandria. And I mean, who knew? I'd never heard of Hypatia of Alexandria before. I read this novel, and I was just gobsmacked. And I mean, she should be as famous as Cleopatra. She taught at the Library of Alexandria. She was a brilliant mathematician, astronomer, philosopher. Nobody knows quite when she was born, mid to late 300 AD. Everyone knows when she died because she was killed by an angry mob in 415 AD. So we know exactly when she died. And so much more. I mean, more is coming out about her and so many other women, the hidden figures sort of that we're starting to hear about, of women who impacted all of our history. And so I was so inspired by the book, which of course, is a big book, beautiful, fleshes her out. And of course it's mostly made up. Otherwise it would have been a really short book. And I was so inspired, I wrote this song. I borrowed a lot from the book. The thing is, when I first looked her up, it was something very brief, died 415 AD, and I think it was put out by the Catholic Church. It said she was a virgin. That seemed to be the really important thing that we needed to know. And I mean, who knew? Who knew? Who really knows? In the novel, they sort of did not. She was not. Yeah. So I went with the novel on that too. So this is called Hypatia of Alexandria, and it's got a part for you in it, which will be clear. Once was a gal named Hypatia. She'd beat you in spades if she raced ya. She'd philosophize you to mere smithereens, but not in a way that disgraced ya. Hypatia! That's your line, try it. Hypatia! Hypatia was smarter than you are. In math and in science, a rock star. No women nor men who ever had been could exceed her in all knowledge thus far. Here we go. Alexandria was in survival, smuggling books from the flames of revival. They hid a whole library hoping to glean a culture none other could rival. Oh, come on, Hypatia! There we go. Soon the Christians denounced her as pagan, just an uppity woman to rag on. But so many citizens thought she was keen, the powers that be had to wag on. Yeah. So they whispered that she was too damn proud. Then they poisoned her pals in the royal crowd. They cornered her cruelly and staged a mob scene with pottery shards and a voice loud. Hypatia! Oh, they killed her for no earthly reason, except some vile priest found it pleasing. A sentiment that to this day's often seen. On women it's still open season. gals like Hypatia. It's high time that we truly embrace ya. No longer forgotten or killed for your genes. We must stop them before they debase ya. Oh, beautiful, brilliant Hypatia. Some guys came along and replaced ya. You're too soon forgotten, your slate was wiped clean. The his in the history erased ya. So now we must sing of her splendor to women and girls, though still tender. For with knowledge we triumph and thwart the obscene, and so in this way we befriend her. Don't forget to remember Hypatia. All right.
Well, that's wonderful, and we're going to have more with Claudia Schmidt pretty soon, and she'll be here for the, of course, the Shoot the Moon game show, which is coming up. And next we'll feature another singer-songwriter steeped in theater and folk and jazz idioms from Gary, Indiana, the profound work of Patti Shaffner.
You're watching the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour on WNIT Public Television.
Well, welcome back to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour. That was a Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour band consisting of Nathan Waddell and John Bahler and Sean Hoffman. Let's give them a nice hand. Okay, and now we have a singer-songwriter who's been here many times before. You've played this spot before. You've had your own feature. You've played with, I believe, your trio, the Song Sisters.
Yes.
And you and Claudia were just at the same affair.
We were at the Folk Alliance Region Midwest, which, in case you couldn't spell that, is farm, which I think is perfect for the Midwest.
Yes, this is especially important to have something like that for the old and infirm like myself. So, but anyway, tell me about the song you brought with you today.
So my song, you know how they will tell you all kinds of things. And this is what this song is actually about. And it came from a songwriting group that I belong to, which gets a one-word prompt a month. And for April, the month the word was swim.
Swim.
And so this song is called Sink or Swim.
Sink or Swim.
And it's based on that one-word prompt and the fact that they are willing to tell you all kinds of
Okay, that's right. Is someone going to help you with this song, too?
Yes, actually, Nathan and Sean, who I was fortunate to meet with his band, The Debutantes, just last weekend as well. And it was exciting to get a phone call from him saying, I'd like to play on the song, too. So
Well, cut loose.
we will do that. Sink or swim. They say it's sink or swim. What you gotta do is dive right in. We hope you make it to the other shore like you've done every time before. And they say, yeah, it's sink or swim. And they say, take it slow. When what they really mean to say is go, go, go. Foot on the gas, you're passed in the mirror, not sure where you're headed, just away from here. And they say, hey, yeah, take it slow. And they've got lots of advice. Don't look back, don't think twice. Just again, just let go. Just who the hell are they? I'd like to know. And they say, yeah, it's your choice. One while, do what you want to do, but don't raise your voice. Don't rock the boat, we might capsize. Look the other way while the waters rise. And still they say, yeah, it's your choice. Just let go. Just who the hell are they? I'd like to know. And they say, don't give in to all those things that might keep you from the wind. They'll throw you in the water and watch you drown. Yell from the shore as you're going down. Hey, remember what we said? Yeah, it's sink or swim. Yeah, remember what we said. It's sink or sink or swim.
Patti Shaffner.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from our hometown to yours, the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour presents our very own audience participation quiz show, Shoot the Moon!
It don't matter to me how smart you are. Maybe you're a big buffoon. You don't need to be quick on the draw. All you gotta do is shoot the moon. Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
And now, here's the host of Shoot the Moon, the maniacal mandarin of metrical meanderings, the cool cat of categorical categories, the flamboyant flipper of flimsical flavored flapjacks, George Schricker.
Oh, thank you so much, Derek. Now, would you mind reading the
rules? Yes.
The rules.
All right.
The
Yes.
rules. Right.
Before the show, audience members indicated their willingness to participate in Shoot the Moon by supplying an answer to this inane survey question. Are you now, or have you ever been, a member or student of the physical cosmology? And you?
Apparently, yes.
Oh, okay, very good. And with that question answered in any manner, our astronautical contestants may choose, while simultaneously floating precariously on a small blue marble whirling amid deep space, engulfed by dark matter and dark energy, and hurled through the universe at thousands of miles an hour, exactly 2 cosmically gifted audience members are chosen to play our game show. So now, let's play Shoot the Moon!
Thank you. You didn't know you had to go through all that, did you?
No.
Yeah, you thought you'd just come right up and answer some questions. But Mary Jo Finley,
Yes.
you have been here in Plymouth a long time.
Yes.
And you have 3, what is it, 3?
Chessie Fuseks.
What are those?
Dogs.
And what? And they're named Franny, Blair, and Avery.
Yes.
And do they do tricks and jump through hoops and are they like circus dogs?
Not exactly, but
Okay.
but they're very obedient and they're very wonderful house dogs. And Blair just came back to live with us. She was a rescue, and so we're loving on her like just we just love her so much.
Well, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Well, we're pleased you're here today to play Shoot the Moon. And Fred Waldschmidt, how nice to
George.
have you here. And
Thank you.
And you work on in people's mouths, right?
I do. I
yeah.
do.
And
Yes.
and what there's a profession that's around that. There's a name. for,
Dentistry.
oh, dentistry. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's one word for it anyway. And here it says you're quite shy. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, anyway, we better get going on this game. Can you read the categories here? Because they're all biographically tied
Very good.
to Claudia Schmidt right here on stage.
The following questions are, as you may imagine, you read them: island cuisine, trekking with Brecht, graceful beginnings, and imagine that.
Mary Jo, what do you think you want here?
Well, since I like to eat, I'll take island cuisine.
Island cuisine. I think this is my favorite question. After performing for a number of years, Claudia Schmidt moved to a small community in her native Michigan called Beaver Island. Is this correct? No, you can speak now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, off the coast of Charlevoix. And there she opened a bed and breakfast. Later, she ran a restaurant where she served up some signature fare. Which of these was not one of those menu items?
Not.
And this is the only question with A, B, C, and D, by the way. Okay, are you ready? Which one was not? Was it a tasty clam, shrimp, and crab corn chowder? Was it a delicious blueberry lavender soup? Was it an exquisite flourless chocolate torte? Or a cooling strawberry sage frappe?
The thing with lavender.
No, you told me that over the phone. You said you did make a blueberry lavender soup.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that was not, no, it was D, a cooling strawberry sage frappe.
Oh, okay.
The nonverbal cues weren't working.
I know. I got confused.
Oh,
I got so excited about the things I made. I just wanted to say, yeah.
They all sounded delicious.
okay. All right, well, what's our score?
All right, well, Fred is doing very well with 0 so far.
Yeah.
Mary, unfortunately, following up with 0.
Okay.
My fault. Sorry, Mary.
Okay, Fred, what can you do here?
I'm going to go with graceful beginnings.
Graceful beginnings. Okay, and this is, of course, about Amazing Grace Coffee House. Amazing Grace Coffee House was an influential counterculture music and performance venue in Evanston, Illinois during the 1970s, run by a collective called the Amazing Grace Family. Did you know any of those cats?
Oh, I knew him well. And I still know them. We're still in touch.
Really?
Yeah.
They have their own Facebook page.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've been in touch with that Facebook page recently. Anyway, it was known for its welcoming atmosphere, eclectic menu, excellent sound system, like ours, and respectful audiences, like all of you. Performers from a wide variety of genre, including blues, bluegrass, folk, all that kind of stuff. And it played at Amazing Grace from its beginning on the campus of Northwestern University until its final incarnation at the Main. Did you play at the Main?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and who did you play with? A double bill? Was it a double bill?
I opened for Bill Quaitman.
Bill Quaitman, I remember.
It was an odd double bill.
Yeah, on Chicago Avenue in Evanston. Claudia appeared there at Amazing Grace Coffee House in Shanley Hall, when it was in Shanley Hall, on campus in 1973 from November 9th through the 12th. Do you remember that? The very first appearance there?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Good, so you're going to have trouble with this question, maybe. Which of the following performers was also on the bill? Oh, you can't say it out loud. With her, was it A, Jim Post, B, John Bassett, C, Steve Goodman? How are you doing with the nonverbal cues? Shall we read them again?
Yeah.
Okay. A, Jim Post, B, John Bassett, C, Steve Goodman.
A.
B is correct. John Bassett was who it was with. Very good. Give him a hand. Excellent cues. Excellent cues. Do you remember that?
It was just not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay. All right. Sorry. That's what they say in the record books. I looked this up.
Well, yeah.
You think I could be wrong?
No, you?
Okay, what's our score?
Well, if Fred did in fact get that one correct.
Okay, but I notice that Mary Jo is wearing pearls.
That's a very good point. That probably deserves at least a 1/10 of a point for the last one.
Okay, so what's our score?
So that's Fred with 1 with a question mark, and Mary Jo with 0.1.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, Mary Jo, which would you like here? Trekking with Brecht or Imagine?
Well, I like to imagine things, so I'm going to take Imagine That.
Okay, here we go again. Claudia Schmidt's 22nd recording is Reimagining. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which features 11 songs chosen from decades of repertoire between 1981 and 2009 and performed anew. One of my early favorites is a song called Broken Glass, which actually got me through about a decade of my life, listening to this song over and over because it's so open-hearted, very open-hearted. She captures it on this album, and there are some words in this song, and they go like this. I was walking through the broken glass last night and thought of you and wondered where your reckless ways had brought you to. My memories of you whirled me back to boiling blood and wrath, and I wondered if you stumbled on a lighter path. How am I doing?
Excellent.
That's good. Okay. In the concluding verse of the song, she sings, wherever you may be tonight, I hope you're pleased and calm, that the air around you soothes you like a holy balm, that your lonely anger hasn't turned your insides inside out. And now, which of these is the last line of the song? Are you ready? That your lonely anger hasn't turned your inside out. A, that you found the strength to cast away your awful doubt. Or was it B, that you found a place some of us still dream about? Or C, that your inner joy awakened with a sacred shout?
B.
That's correct. Very good work.
Finally.
Okay, so now what's our score?
I think that was probably a lot of help she got on that one.
Yeah.
I would give her 0.899 for that one.
Okay, that's
So if we agreed with that, then that's Fred with 1 with a question mark.
Yeah.
And Mary Jo with 0.999, which is equal, I think. That is equal so far.
Yeah, close to equal. Right. Okay, Fred, you only have one last, and that's Trekking with Brecht. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. In 1992, Chicago producer Frank Galati. And where did you first meet Frank Galati?
I met him at the Shamrock Bar on Beaver Island.
Oh, you just walked right in and said, hi, Frank.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he invited you to help with his production of Bertolt Brecht's play, A Good Person of Szechuan. Is that correct?
Yeah, at the Goodman Theater.
Mounted by the Goodman Theater in Chicago, what did Claudia do for the production? Did she, A, design the colorful costumes with recycled bed sheets and phonograph records? B, act in the title role of Shen Te, mastering the difficult gender switching for which she received rave reviews? Or C, compose the music for the score, setting her music to the lyrics by the German playwright himself?
C.
That's correct. Very good. I don't know how you got that. And you won an award for that, Jefferson Award.
Yeah, Jefferson Award. Mhm.
Wow, that's great. Now, when did that come? How long were those issued? How long after the plays? Was the season or?
Yeah, the year. The play ran in the spring, and the awards happened the following fall. So it kind of took the whole year of theater stuff in Chicago. And
Is that like a really big trophy or what is?
it was fairly demure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but lovely.
That's
Yeah,
great.
unexpected.
Okay. Yeah. How wonderful. Okay, so what's our score now?
Now I think we'll find that Fred has 2
Yes.
with a question mark, and Mary Jo still has .999.
Does that mean she wins?
I think so. If we let me do the math here.
Yeah. Quickly.
The question
We don't have much
right.
time.
Yep, that is equal.
That's equal. Okay.
Yes.
So they
Still
both
equal.
won.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, as a matter of fact, win or lose, everyone gets lucky on Shoot the Moon. Both Fred and Mary Jo have won a sleek and elegant sticker suitable for applying to one's air taxi, umbrella stand, or mechanical praying mantis, enabling them to proudly display their stint on our big cosmic big bang of a game show. And they will both receive a Wild Rose Moon coffee cup.
Oh.
Both sticker and cup represent Rosie gazing at the first full moon in June when the wild roses bloom.
Well, congratulations to Mary Jo and Fred, both winners on Shoot the Moon. After the break, we will continue to explore the songwriting artistry of the legendary folk singer Claudia Schmidt.
You're watching the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour on WNIT Public Television.
Well, welcome back to the Wild Rose Moon Radio Hour. As part of my preparation for working on this show,
Can I talk again?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
As part of my preparation for working on this show, I was listening to many of your videos and some of your interviews, and you got lots of stuff out there. It's really fun to kind of do that. And as I was listening, I listened to several of your songs, and one of them was Coming Home to You, and Broken Glass, of course. This Is the Hour, and Give Me Some. And I started thinking about some of these, and they sound like they come from like a place that where songs have always been, or something. And you mention this in the Sorrow when you were talking about your Trail of Sorrow.
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned that this, and you also referred to this when we were talking about Broken Glass over the phone. You were talking about looking down at some broken glass and this song coming sort of out of you from kind of almost automatically. So I want to talk a little bit about this songwriting place that you apparently are able to access. How does that come about?
Well, I can't, there's no formula or recipe for it, for sure. It really is, probably at its most fundamental, it's about paying attention. And the fact that I was talking with a friend of mine a while back, as writers, composers, it's almost like there's always stuff. There's always stuff going by. And it's about reaching in, and this stuff is available to everybody.
Everybody.
All the time.
Right.
And you just kind of reach in and pull this thing out that is revelatory, and someone else down the line might pull that thing out and reveal it in a whole different way. That's where the individualistic
in a
part
pot
of
or something.
composing.
Pottery.
Yeah. And it's this living, organic thing that if it's your job, if it's a job you've chosen, you have this wonderful, delightful opportunity to see what's going on in the big flow.
About paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like paying. Well, would you help us all pay attention to one of your songs?
Sure. In fact, I'll do Broken Glass for you.
Oh, that'd be great.
I haven't done it in a while, so.
Oh, that's okay.
But it's good because apparently you know all the words, so you can prompt me if I forget.
Yeah. Well.
So. And this is a song, like George said, I did this reimagining, celebrating 50 years of being a performer. And so I picked 11 songs that I had recorded over the years and revisited them with the voice I have now and different instruments. And with some of the songs, it was so interesting because it was almost like having a reunion, some I hadn't really done in a long time. And it was surprising, and it was really fun and poignant, and also realizing that some of the songs I'd written when I was really young, like that one, I hardly even understood when I wrote it. And that's the beauty of singing songs over the years. It's like a long-term relationship. You keep living into the song, and then it keeps revealing new things. And this song for me is if I can get through it, is more pertinent than it ever has been. I was walking through the broken glass last night and thought of you, and wondered where your reckless ways had brought you to. My memories of you whirled me back to boiling blood and wrath, and I wonder if you've stumbled on a lighter path. Did you go out to the desert with the sun hot overhead? Did the dry and the dusty heat make you wish you were dead? Or did the stark and the open spaces ease your urge to roam? Did it make you feel at last like you were home? Or did you go out to the woods where the silver poplars sing? Did the quiet rustling take away the city's sting? Did the white birch suspended lightning strike the autumn glow? Fill your heart with tenderness so you could grow. And I was walking through the broken glass last night, thought of you, wondered where your reckless ways had brought you to. Well, it's a fiery mass of untapped power surging in your breast. I hope it found its way outside so you could rest. Did you go up to the mountains where the air is clear and cold? Did they give you back your tears, save you from growing old? As your hands and your feet fought gravity all up the ancient wall, I wonder if you lost the ancient urge to fall. Oh, the last time I saw you, you were strung dangerously high. All your movements stiff and frightened, and you could not cry. Suspicious of an honest smile and looking for a fight. The lonesome streets, your home, your only friend tonight. Now wherever you may be tonight, I hope you're pleased and calm, that the air around you soothes you like a holy balm, that your lonely anger hasn't turned your insides inside out, that you found a place some of us still dream about. And I was dancing through the broken glass last night and thought of you, wondered where your reckless ways had brought you to. All my memories of you whirled me back to boiling blood and wrath, and I wonder if you stumbled on a lighter path. Oh, I hope you have stumbled on a lighter path.
Can you give us one more moment of
Yes, in
that
fact, this is a
hospitality?
very service-oriented song that I just wrote not too long ago. In fact, you know, we read all the time now. I'm looking at the crowd here, and along with the fact that I assume some of you, like me, are getting a lot of cremation service emails and that sort of thing. But we're also having a hard time sleeping, and we're told that we need to sleep to clean out our brains, and so then we feel more anxious about getting our sleep, and then it's harder to sleep. And so I think about this a lot, and I've always had a very hard time sleeping my whole life. Sleep has eluded me. And so not too long ago, I wrote this, I call it a lullaby for grown-ups. And I just want you to know that I stayed up all night writing it. Rest your hands, they shape your day. Constant motion through work and play. They hold, they touch, they do their best. So now it's time to let them rest. Rest your feet, they carry you and bear the weight of all you do. Sometimes they swell, sometimes they ache. Those dogs are tired, they need a break. Rest your heart, that treasure jewel gets so heavy when the world is cruel. Remember, kindness makes things right. Inside and out, you'll rest this night. And all the myriad parts of you could use a snooze, invite them to. The time is right, the way is clear to grant them each some rest, my dear. Come with me. So when you hit the hay tonight, get your parts arranged just right. Thank them all with deep delight, a deep breath, a smile, and then good night.
Claudia Schmidt! Claudia Schmidt!
Thank you.
How wonderful. Thanks so much to Claudia Schmidt for her dedication to sharing her joy-filled individuality and its inspirational and healing power with the world. And thanks to Patti Shaffner, who continues her own work to regularly grace and enrich our region with her fine songs and healing prayers.
So when you think you've lost at life, all pain and heartache fill your soul with strife, just remember, as you're tumbling down, it won't be long till the river goes round. The river goes round, round the bend.